Hello everyone! Welcome to day 3 of my Christmas Friends class to go. This is a fun class to go that you can earn free with an online order. All of the options are listed out here. You can also check out the video description and of course my blog post on how to earn this class for free. All you have to do is place an order of at least $50 in my online store and you'll get this class to go for free. There are extra benefits for orders of over 100 and 150, but that minimum requirement is $50 to earn the class to go. This is the bundle we're using. This is the Christmas Friends Christmas Friends bundle, and it is adorable. It is brand new in our mini catalog. I have been loving this one so much. This was one of the very first ones I wanted to play with, so I can't wait to share more with you. This was card number 1. We made this one on Monday. Super cute with that little moose. We colored him in. This was card number 2. We made this one yesterday, and today we are making this cute fun fold card. This is a gate fold card. It opens like that. It is adorable. We're going to use that polar bear, which I think is maybe my favorite. Although I don't know, that moves. It's super cute too. So I don't know. I can't decide, but this is what we're making today. This is card number 3. The class kits will include everything you need. It will not include any of the stamped images. You will need the bundle. You will need the ink and you will need the dies. So especially with this one, all these little pieces, you are going to be die cutting those out of the bundle yourself. I will provide the cardstock in your kit, but you will need to die cut those from the bundle yourself. And the same goes with this card for our little polar bear. Isn't he adorable? Like the other 2 videos, I have done a lot of the prep work in advance, so you're going to get all the supplies in your envelope for this one, of course, minus the stamped images. So this one, you're going to need a polar bear and 2 trees for this one. So we're going to color these. We'll do that in just a second, but let's talk about some of the other supplies in the kit too. Yesterday, remember, we did... on our little owl, we actually tore a circle in half. This is the other half of this, and you do need to save this piece. Remember, I told you yesterday, don't get rid of this piece that you tear off because you're going to use it again. And I was right, we are using it again. My memory upheld. So we're going to need that, and you're also going to need to die cut another circle from one of those half sheets of white that you're going to get in your kit. Your kit will include 2 half sheets of basic white for you to do all the cutting. You're going to receive a piece of Pool Party that you're going to cut another circle with, so you're going to do that as well. And you're also going to receive a piece of glimmer paper, of the peach pie glimmer paper, that you're going to use to cut these little stars from. The star die in the bundle actually cuts all 3 at once. So this one, it cuts all 3 stars all at once when you run it through. So you're going to end up with 3 stars. We're only using 2 for this one, but hang on to this 3rd star. We're going to set this aside for card number 4 tomorrow. So don't lose this tiny little star. We are going to use that one. And then, of course, all of your cardstock pieces. And in this case, you have some ribbon. This all comes in your kit. So we're going to set all this aside, and we're going to focus on the... I'm going to move my little stars so I don't lose them. We're going to focus on the coloring. So let me zoom in a little bit so we can focus on the coloring. We're going to do the trees first because those are super simple. The trees, we're not going to do a whole lot of stamping, and I stamped them in Memento Black, but actually on here I actually stamped them in Shamrock. So whatever you want to do is fine. It was just easier because I had my black ink pad out. I could do it that way. And I honestly, when I stamped them, I did not think that I was going to be coloring them, but they just looked a little incomplete, just stamped in the Shamrock without being colored. So I did run some Stampin' Blends over them just a little bit, just to add a little bit of color to them. And then after I did that, I was like, well, we might as well just stamp it in the black if we're going to color it anyway. So I'm going to take my dark crumb cake and I'm just going to go up the trunks of the tree. That's all we're doing. No blending on this one really at all. Just kind of up the tree trunks, just like that for both of them. And then I'm going to take my dark Shamrock, and I am just going to, you can use your light too if you don't want to use the dark. And I'm just going to just kind of go over these little branches really quick. This is a pretty simplistic tree, kind of like a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It's very cute, but there's really not a whole lot of coloring, and I'm not even going all the way to the edges of the branches. We're just really just doing a little quick wash of color, really. And you can use the light shaded spruce too, so, or not shaded spruce, Shamrock. Goodness. Shaded spruce does coordinate very well with Shamrock, but we're using Shamrock. Okay, whoop. There's our trees done. So those are quick and easy. All right, let's talk about our polar bear. I'm bringing our little card here. Let's zoom out. Oops, zoom out just a little bit so we can get our card in here too. So our little polar bear, I'm going to start with the wreath. So we're going to keep using our Shamrock. And I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the light, and pretty much like we did our mousse in the very first video, I'm going to do a whole wash of color. And I want to use the little bullet tip. There's some little tiny small spaces in here. And I just want to make sure that I get all of those tiny little spaces. And you want to go around all these little balls, little decorations on the wreath. Now, if you happen to go over one of them, don't worry. We're going to cover it up with some petunia pops, so don't worry about it. If you go, especially these little tiny ones, it's pretty hard to go around them. Excuse me. Okay, so we're just covering this with some light Shamrock, because we don't want to do a whole lot of blending on the wreath because of all those little bobbles. Okay, now I'm going to take my dark, and because it's still a little bit wet, it's going to kind of start to blend right away, which is really what we want. And I'm going around the bow because that's going to be casting a shadow. Just kind of go around those little pieces, and then kind of around his neck where it's touching his neck and where it's touching the back of him. We're going to go in and do some shading. It's behind his ear back here. There's going to be a shadow, so make sure you add that. And just kind of add lots of green on there. And then if there's any parts that need to be kind of blended out, you can just go in with your light and do that. All right. That is our Shamrock, so we're going to put that aside. I'm going to come in with my Pretty in Pink for the bow. I'm going to start with my dark. When I use Stampin' Blends, I mean, you can use Stampin' Blends either way. You can start with the light and move to the dark, or you can start with the dark and move to the light. And my preferred way is actually to start with the dark. I like to know where my highlights are going, but you can do it either way, and it's really just a preference. There's really no right or wrong with Stampin' Blends. So for my dark Pretty in Pink, I added lots of shading to where the artist has given little lines to where the shading should be. So that's kind of how I'm adding all my shading. And then I'll go in with the light and just kind of blend that out. The Pretty in Pink, the light and dark, they're pretty close in color, I think. So if you want to add some bigger highlights, go in again with your dark and just keep adding those darker highlights until you get the right look that you're going for. I think that looks pretty good for our little bear. And that's Pretty in Pink. All right, let's go in with our dark petunia pop. And I'm just going to just kind of dot some color in all of those little ornaments or balls, whatever they are on the wreath, little berries, whatever they are. Just some dark petunia pop. No blending on that one. You don't need to do that. It's a pretty small pretty small pieces. All right, the last thing that we're going to do is our little bear. And so for that, I'm going to use light Smoky Slate and my color lifter in a similar way that we did the owl yesterday. So I'm going to just use my my brush tip on my Smoky Slate, and wherever those little highlights from the artist are, that's where I'm going to add my dark kind of along the ears and the top of the head up here, under the nose, the mouth, kind of like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to go in with our color lifter, and we're just going to blend it out. So I'm just kind of going circular motions over where the marker lines are, and that's just going to blend it naturally, and it's just going to end up looking like shading. So we're going to do the same thing down here. There's lines from the artist. Utilize those lines from the artist because they know where the shading should be. So and then I'm just going to go around the wreath just a little bit. And then with my color lifter, just go over those lines. And I really prefer the brush tip for my color lifter. I really think that just blends everything a little bit better. Very good. And so that's going to leave him looking white, but it is going to add a little bit of shading. So it's not going to be like we forgot to color the bear. It's just going to add some shading. And once it's all dry, he's going to look fantastic. So there is our sweet little polar bear. He is adorable, and we have our trees, so we are all set. So before we move away from our trees, I don't want to lose my little stars here. So what I'm going to do, you can die cut those on an adhesive sheet. But I am just going to add a little dot of glue to the top of each of these trees. And you can also use a glue dot. That would be a fantastic option too. But that way we don't lose our little stars. I'm just gonna stick those on, and then they'll be on there, ready to go when we need our tree. Okay, so that's it for our coloring of all our little pieces. So I'm gonna zoom back out just a little bit, okay? And let's do some stamping. So in your kit, you will have a little die cut banner from the Nested Essentials dies. And we're going to use Shamrock ink. And we're going to do Have a Berry Merry Christmas. So cute. Right on there. All right, and that's it for our stamping. You could do a greeting on the inside if you wanted, or stamp on the envelope, whatever you want to do. But that is it for our stamping. So let's go ahead and start assembling. Now that we have all of our pieces together, I'm going to put all my circles aside. So I have my Pool Party, my white, and then my half piece of white from yesterday. I'm going to put those aside. And there's a piece of Shamrock ribbon in here too. I'm going to put that aside. And so the only pieces that we're working on right now are our card base, and it is already scored for you. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 2 1/8 on each side, and that's going to make a gatefold card. If you find that your pieces are overlapping, just take a little paper trimmer and just cut off just like a hair on each side until you're happy with them. I'm going to take my bone folder and just burnish these down. In your kit, you have 2 pieces of Shamrock that are embossed with that, I think it's called Dashing Details dies, or Dashing Detail Embossing Folder, I think is what it's called. These are going to be embossed in your kit, so you will get those embossed pieces. And you're going to have 2 of those, and these are going to go on the outside panels of our card here. And it's just going to be tone on tone, so it's going to be very kind of soft color there. And these embossed pieces, I believe, are 5 by 1 3/4. But remember, all of those measurements are going to be in my blog post, which is linked in the video description. So you can check that out. All right, now this piece of white, you have a big piece of white. Don't use this for your stamping. Make sure to use those 1/2 inch or half sheets of cardstock for your stamping. This one goes on the inside, just like this. I don't typically decorate the inside of my cards a lot. What do you guys do? Do you guys like to decorate the inside of your cards? Leave me a comment, because if you guys do a lot of inside decorating, I want to know so that I can join in on that. We're going to put one tree inside, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that one, and we're just going to stick it on the inside right here. And that will be our little gatefold card, the start of our gatefold card anyway. All right, let's move this out of the way so that has a chance to all set up and dry. And let's bring in all of our circles. Bring in our finished card too, so we kind of know where we're going with this. All right, so we have the little circle from the card from yesterday, and we're gonna tear a couple more little circles here too. Now, if you happen to not save your piece from yesterday, that's okay. We'll make it work still. I'm gonna make this one a little shorter. Just keep tearing away. But we're just kind of making some snow drifts for our little bear. And this one I think I'm going to make really short. Just like this. And we're just going to layer them up just like this. So we have some nice little snow drifts. And again, if you really wanted to highlight those torn edges a little bit more, you could cover the edges with Wink of Stella or snow puff paint, whatever you have. Those would be great ways to really spotlight those a little more. All right, some glue on the back. We're just going to kind of build this up. Start with our bigger piece like this, and because they're die cut with the same circle, they theoretically should line up perfectly. And I'm going to go in. I'm going to add this one on dimensionals, but before I add that one, I'm going to add the smallest one. And I'm just going to add this one kind of down on the bottom here. And then we'll add this one popped up on dimensionals. So let me grab a couple of those. And we'll put this on our little circle, our circle of snow drifts. Okay, let's add our little bear. He is going to get popped up with dimensionals too. So I'm going to do about 3 of those on the back of him. All right. And he will just, I'm going to actually tuck him behind this one, so it looks like he's standing in the snow. And we're going to add our tree with just some liquid glue just to have it lay flat. You can pop it up on dimensionals if you want. This is going to be tucked behind the snow too. Just like that. So you can see the difference of the Shy Shamrock stamp tree and the black stamp tree. So you can do whatever you want. All right, so we are going to stick this onto our card. Now, this is the most important part of adhering this to your card because you're only going to put adhesive on half of the, let me zoom back it a little bit. You're only going to put adhesive on on the left half. Because if you put adhesive across the whole thing, you're going to glue your card completely closed. So just be aware, you don't want to put adhesive along the whole thing. We are just sticking to that left half. Okay, so make sure you just stick to that left half, and then we're just going to kind of eyeball this kind of center, just like that. You can open it, just make sure none of those dimensionals are showing, and we're getting there. All right, for our greeting, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of my greeting, and we're just going to weave this ribbon kind of back and forth, just up and down. And this is a great way to add ribbon without it adding a lot of bulk. If you're making these for maybe your Christmas cards this year, you can still add ribbon and that fun texture of ribbon to your card without it adding a lot of bulk. And then I'm just going to trim these off at an angle. Get rid of that trash with my scissors. And then we're going to adhere this with a dimensional. So the adhesive is holding that on, but we're going to just put some dimensionals on the back of this just to kind of further secure that ribbon is on there. So I'm going a little heavy with the dimensionals, but I want to just make sure that we're covering all those pieces of ribbon so that nothing pops out. All right, and then this goes right on the bottom of our card down here. And of course, finishing touches, we're going to use our Shimmer gems. If your order is 150 or more, you're going to receive a full package of these Shimmer gems in your kit. So if your order is under 150, you're still going to receive plenty of Shimmer gems to use in your kit. And one over here, so I have 3. And we're going to use those Shy Shamrock ones. All right, and that completes card number 4. Not card number 4, card number 3. We'll do card number 4 tomorrow. So here's card number 3. And then we have 1 and 2, and then tomorrow I will be back with card number 4. So hope you guys are loving this class to go. Remember, if you want to earn this class to go, all you need to do is place an order of $50 or more in my online store. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps me out, and share this with your friends. That really helps me out and helps my business grow as well. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow with card number 4. Bye.